What up, DEI-Alliance Spotlight? We are back, excited about our guest today, as always. But we have a super enthusiastic member of not only LABC but also rising coaches and just the basketball community. If you don't know Coach, you need to, because following him will somehow enhance some part of your life, because that's just what he does. He's an enhancer. He's a extremely passionate guy who loves to share and loves to just spread the good news. So, Coach, welcome.
How you doing?
Introduce
How you
yourself
doing?
if you don't mind. Yeah, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do. Hey, Coach, out there in Phoenix, tell the people a little bit about you, real quick.
I'm at Saguaro High School in Scottsdale, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix. This is my second season as the head coach over there. We're in the middle of our season right now. Actually, have a game this afternoon, but it's been going well out here. But a little bit about me before that. I was over at Horizon High School just down the road. Actually, my alma mater. I was an assistant there. Worked for a Hall of Fame coach. Spent 3 years on staff over there. Before that, uh, as I was finishing up my undergrad at Arizona State, I was at Phoenix College under Matt Gordon, who many of you know. Matt's one of the best out there in the country. Did a phenomenal job at PC. So spent some time with him for a couple years, and then before that, I was in the AAU circles and at another high school, North Canyon High School in North Phoenix, and I worked for my old AAU coach, Mike O'Gwin. So that's kind of my, in short, kind of a brief little coaching summary there. And then I'm also a part of the LABC, the Latino Association of Basketball Coaches. Jason Ludwig, assistant coach at Santa Clara, he started the organization years ago, and little by little, it's grown, and credit to him and the job he's done building that organization. But kind of like many of us last year during the pandemic, we found ourselves with more time and what to do, and that's when I got more involved with LABC and just trying to help spread the word, get the good news out there, and just trying to little by little elevate it and get it to where it is now. And we're about to launch membership officially, here in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, a lot of exciting stuff going on. Whether it's here at Saguaro or with the LABC or Rising Coaches, you name it. So there's always a lot of positive stuff going on.
No doubt, no doubt. Talk about just a little bit about the LABC. I know you gave us a brief intro, but what's that experience been like for you? How did it kind of come about? And just tell the people that don't know anything about it. Let's get the word out a little bit. If you don't.
Yeah, no. How my involvement got started with it was, it's kind of funny how it all kind of pieces together. I remember when it was probably my second year coaching, and I was 18, 19 years old. And I wasn't even looking for, an organization that I felt had inclusion for, Hispanics, Latinos. I was just trying to go watch a practice at Arizona State. And, I go on the staff bio website and I see, I'm not going to bother Herb Sendek or, anybody over there. I'm going to find the ops guy. Saw Jason Ludwig, clicked his bio just to do a little quick reading. And it mentioned that he, was the founder of the LABC. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's weird. I, haven't heard of that, but that's awesome. That's really, really cool. And then, from there, slowly built that relationship with Jason, and just always said, hey, let me know if I can ever help with the organization, stuff like that. We have the luncheon at the Final Four every year. But just kind of always staying in touch with Jason in that regard. And then last spring, I think a couple of us were kind of mentioned by him to just go start doing what we can to get the word out, through networking and social media. And that's where I've really done, between myself, there's another guy, Eric Gracia, who's on with Penn State's women's basketball program now, Omar Sanchez, Patty Medina, so a handful of us have kind of helped Jason take it off his plate a little bit, whether it be with marketing or, just getting the word out there. But, what really we want to do is just have a place where we can come together and fellowship and networking and help support each other. I mean, there's so many other great organizations that do the same, whether it be, the Black Coaches Association, the Asian Coaches Association, so on and so forth. So, the more groups, the better. and it helps, like the initiatives that you guys have with rising coaches, and the more of us there are out there, the better. But the coolest thing has been just being able to connect with coaches, whether they're at the high school level, JUCO, D through NAI, D2, D1, and it makes you realize that, like at first it seemed, oh well, there's not too many of us out there, right? But I think that's been the coolest thing since we've been able to promote the organization just through social media. The amount of coaches across all levels who have been like, wait, this is awesome. Like, we had no idea this was a thing. This is much needed. Simply just from even a support standpoint, just checking in with each other. So it's been really cool. But yeah, we're excited. We're going to put together some more stuff through our membership. We'll obviously have our Final Four luncheon. But we also want to do some networking Zooms and, some clinics and, stuff like that throughout the year, similar to what many other organizations do. And good news is, we've learned in this virtual world, it's even easier to do that now, like we're doing now on Zoom and, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Power in numbers and feeling like, I think any place that you are in a minority situation, or even just want to make sure you have representation for who you are and can be around like-minded people that can share experiences and share, network in order to continue to grow and advance in this thing. I think it's what it should be about. So it's been awesome to be a part of and watch what you guys are doing from afar, and then join forces with the DEI. Talk a little bit about the high school life, and you did a little bit of stint in college. I believe you may have mentioned that, but talk a little bit about how you enjoy coaching, and then just your passion for the game. It seems like for those that don't know you, I know you a little bit, but for those that don't know you, they probably can see your passion kind of coming through just from virtual, just from, whether it's the quotes, whether it's just the energy that you're bringing. Talk a little bit about where that passion for the game comes from. I think I can remember you coming up when I was in college coaching, and just kind of always reaching out and always kind of just being so consistent. And so anyway, just talk a little bit about your journey and your passion for it and your
love. I started following basketball, loving basketball when I was probably 5 years old. And like many people, they probably can attribute that to watching a guy by the name of Michael Jordan play. I saw him at the tail end. But just being obsessed with him, everything about him, Chicago Bulls, this, that, so that really started the love and the passion of the game. So I played, throughout my youth, had a cup of coffee in high school. Obviously it wasn't good enough to keep on playing. But had a great experience, just great coaches. I think anyone who plays any team sport for a long period of time, they make a lot of their lifelong friendships through it, lifelong relationships. One of my high school coaches, he's my right-hand man. He's on my staff right now. To me, that says it all right there. Just the importance of relationships and the impact you can have on someone's life. And when I started coaching, I was at North Canyon High School, like I mentioned, in North Phoenix. The head coach there was a guy by the name of Michael Gwynn. He was my AAU coach. So again, like that relationship piece of it, he made a major impact in my life, still does. Spent 4 years with him at the high school level with his AAU program, coaching boys and girls all ages. And it was, looking back at it, I have no idea how I did it. But then I realized, I was 18, 19 years old. So I had the energy and the time, but, just a wonderful experience. Like, one, to have trust in me, someone who had zero experience, but, saw the passion, saw the fire, and let me go through some good times, learn through failure, which, everyone has to go through and continues to go through. It's important for all of us. But just seeing every facet of it, and then while I was going through that process, I got to know Matt Gordon, and Matt said, hey, would love to have you on the staff, and learn. And, especially, junior college level, there's not a better place for you to really see it all, do it all. And people don't realize, not to toot Matt's horn, but people don't realize the lack of resources that Matt had there for such a long time, and to do such a good job consistently every year. You know, I mean, it was amazing to watch. It was amazing to be a part of for a couple of years there. You know, and I loved every little bit about it. I mean, I learned so much from Matt, and I owe a lot to Matt. You know, and he's a good friend to this day and mentor, and you know, he's always there if I have questions or just need to vent. But you know, that was kind of my journey through my undergrad. While I was finishing my undergrad, I started student teaching at my alma mater at Horizon High School, which was awesome. Great experience going back home, if you will, and you know, so started teaching there as well. Shortly after, then they convinced me to come back, leave Phoenix College, join the staff over there. I worked for a Hall of Famer named Jerry Connor, and that was awesome, just because, I mean, his wealth of experience. You know, such a great human being. Spent 3 years with him. And then I had a brief stint out in Tyler, Texas. I was with Lewis Wilson, who is, I mean, he's one of the best out there. And, you know, only spent a few months out there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to work out. But I mean, the stuff that I learned in, you know, just 2.5, 3 months it's unbelievable. And it's stuff that I apply every day here, you know, as we run our program here at Saguaro. And I mean, just talk about another guy that you can learn so much from. You know, I had one guy earlier in my life, Matt Gordon, brief period of time with Lewis Wilson, but wow, I mean, and I can go on and on and on about the organization, the structure, building a program, building a strong culture. I mean, just wow. But then after that, came back home, and then you know, everything happens for a reason. You know, I'm a firm believer in that, and ended up you know, getting the job here at Saguaro, and literally got hired days before the world shut down. You know, as we entered this pandemic. So got hired, was excited, ready to go, and then really couldn't meet my team until September of last year, because we started school virtually, all that. And then, you know, last year, again, really fortunate, senior heavy team, excuse me. And we won the region for the first time in 10 years, flipped it from 2-16 regular season record to 14-4. But again, credit to the seniors. It was really awesome for them to be part of that experience the year before, and then flip the script, you know, for their senior season. You know, here we are now, in the middle of our season right now. We're 7-4, and we got 7 games in 13 days or something like that.
Right.
So it's going to be a nice little stretch here for us, but definitely looking forward to finishing it up.
Yeah, for sure. We appreciate you breaking that down for us and sharing. Let's have a little bit of fun in this little midsection and say, not that we're not having fun otherwise, because we are, but let's have fun with you and asking some questions about what is if you had to pick your top 5 players of all time, not necessarily that you have coached, but just that you've watched. Who would you say is your top 5?
That I've watched? Geez. At any level,
any capacity, just your all-time top 5.
Oh man, it's gonna get controversial. But Michael Jordan, you know, is 1. Kobe Bryant, number 2. Geez, I mean, you could go any which way on this. LeBron, 3. Shoot, Shaq in his heyday, dominant. And you know, I'll end with wait, is that 4? Yeah, I'll end with Tim Duncan. You know, I mean, just a winner, man, and culture setter.
Yeah, that's a classic squad right there. That squad's not losing many games. That's
they won't lose many.
Nah, not at all. Now talk about your shoe game with your squad. Are you big and let your players wear their own shoes? Do they have to wear team shoes only? Are you kind of a shoe guy? What's the shoes when you go out to coach? What's your favorite kicks? And then what's some of the kicks that your team wears during the season?
With a team, we let the kids pick what they want to wear. You know, I'm not too strict on that. As long as it's you know, for us, Nike, because we have a partnership with BSN and Nike, so we want to make sure that we that we're all wearing Nike kicks. I've always been a Nike guy, ever since I was little. I think that goes back to, just the whole Jordan connection. But last year we were Adidas. And our football team, we're top 25 in the nation.
Yeah.
We have an Adidas deal. So now that's unique just to football. Hopefully Nike can, shout out Nike. Hopefully they can throw in more money for the football program. So football but our guys are Nike. They can wear what they want. I like on the sideline though. I'll go with some Cole Haans.
Nice. Nice decision.
Yeah, and they have a relationship with Nike too. So, I'll wear that. Sometimes we'll go casual, and I'll go with some Jordans or some Nikes. Just depends on the night, the day, how I'm feeling.
Yeah,
but I'm superstitious too. Like if we win a game, then the staff will be like, "Hey, what are we wearing?" On Thursday night. And I'm like, "Well, exactly what we wore the night before because we're gonna win again in that."
Yeah.
So make sure everyone's wearing the same shoes. All that.
What's we'll take a quick pause and then come back to those. What about your experience with rising coaches? What do you love about that, and what would you say to someone who maybe doesn't know much about it?
Yeah, no. I feel like it's been around for a while, but like many things, the pandemic helped elevate its presence, and I think it was just right place, right time. Obviously the pandemic is not a good thing, but if there was many positives of it, in the basketball world, rising coaches was one of the best things to really elevate and rise to the top from a networking standpoint, and just from being able to learn. All the resources, whether it be people sharing stuff online, the networking Zooms, the clinics, whatever it is. There's so much value to it. In fact, one of my assistants, he hit me up, months ago and was like, "Hey, like, what do you think about this?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a no-brainer. You got to join." I'm not just plugging that to make you guys feel good. It's a resource that coaches at all levels, all experiences are able to benefit from and use.
Yeah, no doubt. Well said. I don't even have to follow up with anything after that. That was really good. Let's go back to your tops. Okay, so let's say you are chosen to be the head coach of the USA team.
They're crazy.
Yeah. Well, whatever level. Does it say USA team?
Yeah.
Junior Olympics, whatever you want to call it. But you get to pick any 3 coaches to be on your staff. Now, you can't pick your own staff members, so we'll let them not be in their feelings because this is not about –
yeah.
It has to be someone that's not on your current staff. There's no bias towards your own staff. So who's your 3 that you're adding?
I would add Matt Gordon, my old boss at Phoenix College. He's just a genius, and he's fun to work with, and you learn a lot. And then I can't be biased, but I would probably say Brian Burton and Adam Gordon, just because those are 2 guys that like to have a good time.
I love it.
Adam doesn't care anymore. He likes to tell everybody that.
I love it.
So,
he does.
He's just going to let it fly out there and be real. But no, all jokes aside, you guys would be great. But no, Matt Gordon though. I'll just take him, and we'll recycle guys in and out the door, just to have fun and different guys to hang out with. But no, Matt's awesome. Again, I've learned so much from him, and he's just a high level coach. So let's go coach Team USA, Matt, if you're watching.
I like it. All right, man, we're almost wrapping up. What's one goal for 2022, and then what's one funny story before you go?
Ooh, okay. One goal is to enjoy wins more, and I kind of twofold here. At the end of the year, we had our exit interviews and with our guys last year, and I was talking to one of our captains. He was a senior, and I tell him to be real with me and tell me something that I can do better at. And the piece of advice he gave me was enjoy when we win more. Don't turn the page right away, and let that show to everybody. Just feel free to enjoy it more. And that was just a constant reminder to me to, yes, you want to stick to focusing on what's ahead, but just enjoy those moments with your team a little bit more. And that was kind of my second reminder last year. I feel like I'm plugging his name a lot in this interview, but throughout the middle of last season, I was texting with Matt, and he said, "Hey, are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying this season? Are you enjoying going through this stretch right now?" And I thought to myself, like, I'm probably not enjoying as much as I should. So I think my overall goal this year has been to enjoy just the process, as cliche as that sounds, but just enjoy each moment, the good, the bad, because there's going to be benefit to it all. So just really finding joy throughout a season, and not getting so caught up in focusing on the next opponent, or whatever it might be. And I'm saying that now, but I'll text you later on to tell you how I do after today's game.
Oh man, so real. All right, give us one funny story before you roll.
You know what? I was trying to think of a funny story as I was talking there, but you know what? I'm going to change it up. I'm not going to give you a funny story. It's not going to be sad either. I'm just going to throw something real out there.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Don't be afraid to be who you are. Don't be afraid as coaches or people in any leadership role to speak up for what you think is wrong. Whether it's social justice, anything like that. People will always say it's political. I was told a couple months into me being hired here after, late May, early June with, George Floyd and all the protests, I was told by many coaches in the area, hey, be careful, you don't want to speak out too much, and, you don't want to say too much, maybe one of your, supporters or donors or whoever it is, right, won't like what you're putting out there. And, my response was like, I appreciate the advice, but, I really don't care, because I think I'm speaking out for, what's right. So I think just kind of some advice there, take it or leave it, but don't be afraid to put yourself out there on social media, and retweet something that you firmly agree with, or, all of that. And everyone has their different opinions of how, what your profile should look like on social media, or what you're, sharing and putting out there. But, I would just say, keep it real, and you guys do a great job of that, Brian, you and Adam, and countless others out there. But just be real and put it all out there. People know who you really are, and it's only going to benefit you.
Amen to that. I think that's a huge part of hopefully some of the people on here, if they do get a chance to watch this, hopefully that's a part of your 2022 goals, or whatever. Just be you,
Yep.
You take a chance or two. It's okay to fail. It's not about what everybody else thinks. It's just about coming your best self. So I think we're done, man. This was a blast. We got to do it again.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other last words you have that you want to share, feel free, and then we'll shut it down, man. We thank you for joining us on the game day.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys and all you guys do. It's so awesome for the game of basketball, people at all levels, people, whether you're a high school coach like me, all the way up through Division I, and at the pro level, you guys do so much for coaches and just people who follow the game. So keep doing what you do, and look forward to seeing you guys next time around.
Yeah, no doubt. And we are excited about I got to end with a plug for the Equality and Inclusion Night in college basketball, which I say in college basketball, feel free, Lucas, to spread the word too. Hit up Adam Gordon for a pin, Lucas. Of course, you got to do that. Send him a text after we get off. But even if you don't have a pin, just wear black, send out a tweet, let people know that you're supporting and about it and want to celebrate equality and inclusion. I think it's a big deal, and we just want to keep making it a insight in mind topic and not let it just fade because we're not in a pandemic and we're not locked in the house and there's not an election. And it's like that stuff sometimes is used for their own good. Yeah. And then it's like, now we're going to fade it to the black. We don't need to use it anymore. It's like, so it's up to us to keep it in mainstream and keep it inside of mind. So we appreciate all support, excited for you guys and your organization to be a part, but we would love for you specifically also to be a part. I want to see the swag. I want to see the Kohans or the kicks that you have on with the all black. representing. So we appreciate all you do, man. And thanks so much.
Yep. Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.
Yep. Looking forward to hearing how you do today.